Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I would like to show you some best practices, how you can work with Datacake to group your devices in order to have a better overview, especially when you work with larger fleets. In this workspace we are seeing we have a total of 105 devices, and usually they all end up in the device list, and you might be asking, how could you group them or structure them so that it's more easy to work with those. As you can already see, the majority of these devices do have a tag assigned. And today we are going to work with tags, but also with sidebar dashboards, workspace dashboards, in order to group those devices. First of all, let me explain you something which I think most of you don't know yet. We have released a feature a few months ago, which is about grouping sidebar dashboards, and dashboards on the sidebar are basically workspace dashboards. And when you hover over at dashboard, you can see that there's a small configuration icon. If you click on this, you can see that you can actually create folders. And because we are in a workspace that is about building management, we are going to create two folders now for first floor and second floor. So now we created two additional folders on the sidebar, and we can see three in total. Main dashboards, where I just moved all the existing dashboards, and then we have first floor and second floor, but nothing in those two. We click on save in order to save the sidebar configuration, and you can see the new folders appearing here on the sidebar. Now let's go ahead and create our first dashboard. And what we are going to do is we are going to take one of those tags and create a dashboard with a device list, especially just for devices that have the tag. So let's go ahead and pick one of those tags here, like cafeteria. That's a good thing. Let's create our first dashboard, and we call this cafeteria. We leave everything else like it is. We click on Add Dashboard. This brings us into an empty dashboard. And now I'm going to click on this button here to activate the edit mode. And this allows me to add a new widget. And on the widget picker, I am going to select the table widget. And as you can see, now the option in the table widget is to pick a tag. In here, I'm going to pick the tag cafeteria. Right now, this filter returns 4 devices. We could also filter by a name, but we are picking the tag cafeteria. Next, what we need to do is we need to create columns. These columns can be user defined. It can be the device name and measurement, and then I'm going to select any type of measurement that I want to display, like the sensor temperature. Another column, measurement for humidity, for example. And once I'm done, I click on save to add this widget to the dashboard. I can make it a bit larger, and we can also play around with the appearance, maybe hiding the background, save it, and then exit the edit mode by clicking on this button here at the top right. This now brings us a very basic list of devices, which only shows the devices for cafeteria. If I go back into my device list and add some new devices, and upon adding I can already assign tags, or I mark a couple of devices, go on actions, select add tags, and now I could add the cafeteria tag here once more. And if I would save this now, these devices would also be in my group cafeteria and appear here on the sidebar. But let's go ahead and create another workspace dashboard for another tag, and we are going to select the tag export. Let's create a new dashboard, call this export, leave everything like it is. Again, we are going to create a table widget, and instead of cafeteria, I'm now going to select the tag export. This brings me 10 devices, and again, I'm going to create 3 types of columns: the device name, the device measurement for temperature, and then last but not least, the measurement for humidity. Go back to appearance, hide the background color, save this, adjust the width of the widget, save it, and now I have a device list of devices just containing the export tag. And we can now click on cafeteria. It shows me just the cafeteria devices. then it shows me just the export devices. And actually these are interactive. So that means if I click on one of those, it directly brings me to the device dashboard. So now that we've created both of those, and we know that both of those are on the first floor, let's move them into the first floor folder. For this, we are going to click on Configure Sidebar again, and this opens up the module where we created the folders. Now we can simply drag and drop the cafeteria and export dashboard into second floor, and we can also rearrange them in the position. Let's move cafeteria to the top, export second, and save this. And now we can see that in the second floor we have cafeteria and export, and they only show the devices belonging to the tech. Let's create a third and last dashboard for something on the first floor. I'm sorry, I'm completely wrong. Cafeteria needs to be, and export needs to be on the first floor as I said it, and the second floor is something else. So let's save this. Now we are going to create a third dashboard which is on the second floor. And for this, I'm going to pick one of the tags here, which is IT, for example. Let's create a new dashboard. We are calling this IT department. Add the dashboard, and in here again, add a widget, select the table widget, select the tag IT. This brings me just 3 devices, but anyways, just creating 3 different kinds of columns. Device name, measure temperature, and measurement. Humidity, save it, adjust the size, and also appearance, I forgot, save it again. And now we've got the third dashboard for the IT department, and because we know that this one is in second floor, I'm going to move this into the second floor group, and now you can see the folder configuration. So we have first floor with cafeteria export and second floor with the IT department. And for each of these floors, we created dashboards, and these dashboards just show a list of the devices that are in there, and then we can basically click on one of those devices, and then you go into the actual dashboard of that device. The table widget allows some adjustments, like for example, to show you what we can do instead also is in the columns we could add multiple columns, and then also for example for the online and offline status, and you can drag the column position so that we basically can reproduce the grouping or the table just as it looks like on the overall device list. And as you can see here, it looks pretty similar. The cool thing about that is you can also sort. You can sort based on measurement. You can sort based on online-offline status, and of course the device name. And we have a basic pagination in here. But this is a cool thing because I think that most of you don't know that we have this feature that you actually can create these groups, and within those groups you can create dashboards. And these dashboards basically can be used to show a filter of just a couple of devices, and this makes it much more easy to work with devices that are for building management, for example, like in here, hundreds of sensors, but we simply create dashboards for floors or rooms, and then you can see the temperatures for these rooms and not all of the temperature super crowded and chaotic on the workspace. That's it. That's how you can create folders for your workspace dashboards to allow grouping of devices. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.